I am going to create a video on some of the problems that I feel are a little bit harder, but with Word Chapter 1, they have chosen to have you do headers and footers, which seems to be quite advanced, especially when you need to have different headers and footers on different pages and link them and everything. This is one of the things that people call me about all the time to see how to do this. And so I've opened up, if you notice up here, the chap1Heart, and it's in compatibility mode. I opened these from your student data files, and you can find these student data files at the login screen of MyIT, right in the middle section under Download Student Data Files. I'm not sure if your book came with a data CD. It might be in the back of your book as well. So if I don't want it to be in compatibility mode, then I just go to File and convert it. And all that does is this action will convert the document to the newest file format, and your layout may change. So that means it was in a little bit older file format, and we just converted it to the new Office 2010. Now they tell you to save it. You don't want to destroy your original. So the book tells you to put your first and last name. Sometimes I just like to put solution at the end of it so that I know that it's not the original file, but it's what I'm going to hand in. So it asks you in the instructions to insert a cover page. I'm reading the instructions on page 160 of your textbook, and there it tells you step by step what to do. So it says to insert a cover page, and they want you to choose the stacked stacks. So it's all alphabetized. There's the stacks. And now it created a cover sheet for you, and it contains some placeholders and fields. It wants you to put in a title here. Now on the exam, sometimes it'll tell you to delete a placeholder. When I click on it and highlight it, if I hit delete now, it would just delete the words and not the actual placeholder. If I select the tab that says title, then hit delete, it would delete it. So now I'm going to put in heart attacks as the file name. The subtitle is what you should know. And instead of the exploring series, you'll put in your name. See, I didn't select the tab, and then it selects it all. And I have on the Home tab, I have the paragraph marks on. Some people wonder what that is, and it bothers them sometimes. But in this case, we need to have this on, otherwise we can't tell. When we put the cover page in, it created this page break for us. So when you have the headers and footers, all depend on what kind of breaks you have. I can't manipulate my headers and footers so I have different things on different pages very well unless I have a section break. When we have a page break, if I happen to center this title page vertically, it would center all of my pages vertically because they're linked together and they're hooked together. But if I need to unlink things, then I need to create a break, a section break, and divide my paper up into sections. So it wants us to go to page layout and put in a break, and a next page section break will break it just like a page break would. Now look what happened though. There's my next page section break. I can see that because I have the paragraph marks on. But I also have a page break. So I don't want that extra blank page. So I can get in front of this page break and hit delete. And now I have the next page section break, which is what I want. So if anything before, see, my insertion point is before the next page section break. So that is section 1, which is the title page. And section 2 now starts here. If it wants me to put in, well, it wants me first to change the margins under page layout and margins. Then if I go down here, I can type 0.75, 0.75. Do this on all of your margins. And then OK. It also wants me to put in a footer. So there's the imaginary margin down at the bottom that is the header or the footer area. This is the footer. And you'll notice that I have this same as previous. If you look up here under this new tab that comes up, that means if I want to unlink it from my title page and not have a footer on my title page, then I need to click this to unlink it. Now there's a check mark here that says different first page. If I leave that check mark there, that means this page will be different and it won't continue my pages to the next page. So I don't want this page to be different. I want it to be the same as the next ones. So now I'm going to type the word page and put a space, and then I need to insert a page number and say I want to put the page number at the current position, and I put in that, but notice I got a 0 instead of a 1. So let's go look up here, but I don't have a footer on my title page. That's good. So now I need to format this page number by going up here to page number, format the page number so that it starts at number 1 and not at 0. And so I have page 1, now I have page 2. So there's my footer. It wants us to do the same thing with a header. If I double click up here, when I'm in the header area, this kind of grays out, meaning that the header is active. I don't want it on the title page, so I've got same as previous showing, so I've got to unlink it. This different first page isn't checked, so we're okay, and we can type heart attacks. What you should know. Now we'll check out. We have that header on the next page, and we don't have it on our title page. So that's what we wanted. So to get out of the header, I can either close the header or double click in the body of the header. Now when you're doing a report or a paper, you need to check and see. You don't want any of these bulleted items to be divided, some on one page and some on another. If they are, you can create a hard page. For example, if I wanted this to go to the next page, I can do Control Enter and make that go to the next page. Or Control Z would undo it. This isn't separated right now, so we'll leave it together. So you should always check your page breaks. You should never leave just one line of a paragraph left alone at the bottom or the top of a page. That's called a widow orphan. There is a widow orphan protection that is automatically on as a default, but sometimes it's not on. It had to be manually turned off. All right, it says that you're supposed to check the spelling, so I can go to review and check the spelling. I notice I have put this up on my quick access toolbar because I use Speller all the time, so that makes it a little more convenient. Run the speller. The probability being overweight or probably a heart attack, you would want to change that and change it. Ignore that and ignore that, and then close. And then it wanted us to put a custom date completed on. So this is all the statistics about your who created it, what time it was created, when it was saved, and everything. And then it said to check your Word options under File and go to Options, and on the save, make sure you have auto recover information every 5 minutes. So the mid-level problems don't tell you how to do things. They'll leave out some instructions because hopefully you've been through the training and you did the practice exercises which teaches you, and then the mid-level exercises leaves out more of the instructions, and then the greater problem just tells you to do it without telling you how to do it. So the greater problems can be a little frustrating. If it ever gives you instructions on printing, you don't need to print. Just save again, and it will automatically save it in the same name, same place. And then when we can upload this under the assignment link in MyIT. If you have several problems, I'd like you to zip them up. So, for example, these aren't really the problems that are required, but suppose you were going to do these 3 homework files. So maybe you would do heart, solution, all the solution ones, and this one. Maybe those 3 you were going to hand in. You could right-click, send to, compress that folder. It will name it anything that it wants to, and so you can rename it if you want, as Chapter 1 homework if you wanted. And then that will be what you upload to me. I've done a video on how to upload your homework, so that should be everything that you'll need to complete your homework.